Hello everyone, Spaced Oyster here, and welcome to my next Let's Play, Spec Ops: The Line. I'm really excited to do this one, although it is going to be very different from Final Fantasy XII or, well, pretty much anything I've done so far on this channel, because I have to pretty much do all my commentary in post, since there's a lot of dialogue in this very story-heavy game. Anyway, yeah, Spec Ops: The Line is a game I really like a lot. It came out June 29th, 2012. The song you're hearing in the background is the national anthem that was performed by Jimi Hendrix in 1969 Woodstock. Yeah, this game does have a lot of themes, and I would highly recommend playing through it blind on your own. Like, if you really want to get the fresh experience, stop watching this, go get it, and play it yourself, because this is something you should experience yourself. However, the purpose of this Let's Play is to give people who can't do that a way to play the game, or, well, see the game without actually having to play it themselves. My goal is to highlight all the things I do like about this game, as well as a few problems I've seen some people have about it. So I basically just want to highlight everything about a game that I really like, and then, yeah, show it to people. In preparation for this Let's Play, I watched probably way too many videos. I read through Killing is Harmless, and probably spent way too much time on the TV tropes page for this game. Let's see. Yeah, Spec Ops: The Line does explore a few interesting themes. It's got what am I trying to think about? It mainly explores the relationship between the player and the player character, as well as the effects of post-traumatic stress disorder, and just how tough military life really can be. And it does accomplish this in quite a few ways, in my personal opinion, and that's pretty much why a blind playthrough comes to mind. Is the best way to experience it. Oh yeah, as a result, though, this game does have a anti-war message that was not necessarily intended to be there. Basically, the anti-war message popped up as a side effect of the narrative and the themes they wanted to explore. But they're not trying to condemn war too much. Alright, here we go. I'm going to delete over my first save. And I'm going to jump in on the medium difficulty setting, Combat Op. If you're not good at third-person shooters or cover-based shooters, then I would highly recommend dropping the difficulty down to Walk on the Beach. And if you want a challenge, bump it up to the harder 2 difficulties. Although I really would not recommend Fubar at all. This is a story game, and that difficulty is like really hard. I wouldn't recommend it. It's not fun.
Can't shake this guy, Walker. It's afraid to keep her steady. You out of your mind? Trust me. Got him. Wasn't the last of them. I see him.
Here we have our in medias res opening. I don't think you can even die here. Just shoot down the choppers, and I guess feel entranced and like you're playing a different game. I'll probably have to turn this part down, because it's really loud. That Gaming Sins channel did do a vid on this one, and while most of their points were pretty much invalid, or not good, the comment they made about this in medias res opening was kind of correct. We have no context for this situation, and so we have no investment on how people got here, because we don't know well, anything. Granted, that's probably a problem with in medias res in general, not just Spec Ops. But I do want to address problems people have with this game. I'm pretty much a Spec Ops Line fanboy, and I really want this to be a good wholesale experience for people who might not enjoy this game, as well as those who do. And I don't want to just ignore the game's flaws, because that would be doing a disservice to Jaeger, 2K, and everyone behind making this game. So my intention going forward will be to spoil as little as possible. I'm not going to spoil things outright, but or intentionally, I might wink at you though. And then one small thing to note is that there are collectibles defined. I had to record those separately and edit them in, so that might look.
Is John Conrad the greatest man I ever served with? Well, I don't know. There was this one time in Kabul when he dragged my bleeding carcass half a mile to an evac chopper. So maybe I'm biased. But the facts don't lie. The man's a fucking hero. Remember when the first storms hit Dubai? You're probably all safe and sound at home watching TV. Well, Conrad was leading the damn 33rd out of Afghanistan. Instead of coming home, he volunteered his entire battalion to help with the evac. But all you did was send a check. Rumor is Conrad was ordered to abandon the city. He defied that order, and the 33rd stood with him. Now, the official story's still hazy about what happened next. All we know for sure is that the storms got worse. Much worse. Last thing we heard out of Dubai was that Conrad was leading a caravan of survivors out of the city. That was 6 months ago. Then, 2 weeks ago, we picked up this transmission.
This is Colonel John Conrad, United States Army. Evacuation of Dubai ended in complete failure. Death toll, too many.
So going forward, pay attention to the way cutscenes end. Start and
Hey,
end.
Cap. Captain Walker,
What is it, Lugo?
got a situation, sir.
Mission critical?
No, sir.
Then take it up the chain, Sergeant.
Roger that. Lieutenant Adams,
I hear you, Sergeant. What's your status?
status is chafed, sir.
You say chafe, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. A local airborne insurgency has infiltrated the U.S. zone designated as my pants. Sir,
Shut up, jackass.
Gentlemen, welcome to Dubai.
yep. It's still dead.
Yet to be seen, Sergeant.
You got a lock on that transmission?
Yes, sir. About 800 yards away.
And we're 800 yards away from seeing who's more full of shit. You or Intel?
Wow. If I wasn't a hardened killing machine, that might have hurt.
If it begins and ends in a fade to black, everything was real. If it begins and ends in a fade to white, it's there was a hallucination. Also, I was the special guest there. Yay me!
All right, remember, this place has been designated a no man's land, which means we're not supposed to be here, so let's do this by the books, okay?
Roger,
I was a little tempted.
Okay, grab some cover.
I was a little tempted to change my username there to like you or the viewer, but I figured since it's
Now check your sights.
my gameplay,
Any
or
movement?
I'm the one behind the controller,
Nah, we're clear.
I am the real special guest, since this is a game you should be playing. Like, seriously, if you haven't played that and you have the opportunity to do so, turn this off, stop watching, go play it,
Wow.
and then maybe come back.
Dubai stays in Dubai.
Come on, let's just find a way down.
You got it.
So the stop sign was a warning. I guess it's a spoiler alert, but shit's not gonna go very well for these guys. Like at all.
So this is what's left of the damn 33rd.
Command thinks otherwise. We wouldn't be here.
But this game is very unrealistic.
Hey, got some rope over here.
Let's put it to use.
It got play-tested by a former Marine, and he pointed out that most of the stuff is pretty much completely wrong.
That's enough, Lugo.
I'm just keeping it light, boss.
Yeah, I don't need light. Need you focused on the mission.
What mission? We're basically poking a dead dog with a stick.
We have our orders. Locate survivors, leave the city immediately. Radio command from outside the storm wall. Send in the cavalry, we go home.
Hey, did you guys
Sorry,
hear
I'll
that?
keep it down.
You fucking with us?
I am hurt that you'd even ask.
Ain't nobody here, man.
Sounds like the transmission.
Huh. Could have sworn I heard somebody.
Yeah, really
Come on,
sorry.
let's just get this over
I've
with.
been trying to keep it down, but that's a little tough when you have to play on a controller.
Hey! Anyone out there? Doctor says what?
Leave it alone. No one's out
That's the
there.
Burj Khalifa.
And what the fuck are we doing here?
Lugo's got a point.
Oh, you're taking his side now?
When he's right, he's right.
Hey, command wants us to look around, we look around.
I don't know. Sounds like a waste of 3 stone-cold, ruggedly handsome Delta operators such as ourselves.
Think of it as a paid vacation.
Well, for future reference, I prefer my beaches with a 3-to-1 sexy lady dead body ratio.
Lugo, do you ever actually hear the shit coming out of your mouth?
No, I do not, sir. I find it messes with my rhythm.
We are walking back.
You know, it does feel like we're being watched.
Good. Someone should see how sexy I look.
You know, if I had my sneeze, I would have put it
This
in
looks
there.
like the place.
Attempted evacuation of Dubai.
Anyway, first intel item should be right here.
My name is John Conrad, commander of the 33rd Battalion, husband of Elizabeth, and father of Jeremy. If you are reading this, the desertion of the 33rd is undoubtedly no longer a secret. I have failed my mission. Worse, I have failed my men. If any of them be found alive, let it be known that they are innocent. As their commander, I forced them under extreme duress to stay in Dubai. To disregard their orders, I alone am to blame.
Failure.
Whatever it is.
The convoy is called.
It's a distress beacon, but it ain't military. Someone built this out of spare parts.
Any idea who?
No, not a fucking clue.
God damn it. Walker, you better come see this.
Sir, come look at this cliche. Sorry, too much cinema sins.
Oh, fuck.
That's putting it lightly.
Body looks fresh.
It is. Even worse, he's 33rd.
Who did this?
Probably the same people been ghosting us.
It doesn't answer the question.
Don't worry. I think we're about to find out. My name is Captain Martin Walker. We're looking for survivors.
Why? So you can kill us too?
You speak Farsi? Maybe we can understand each other better. Agarin Torim half bezanim.
Good call,
Fun
Lugo.
fact, people...
South real fast, Walker.
I'll tell you later.
See that bus over there? It's filled with sand. Push comes to shove, shoot out the windows. Might give us an
The
advantage.
damned? Hey, yani the damn 33rd? Sarbozai dige chi? Kill them!
Yeah, sand. It's contextual as butts, though. Anyway, the real official language of Dubai is Arabic.
They're refugees, survivors of the storm. That's good, right? This is radio command. Give them the news. Be my guest. I'm
Farsi is more commonly spoken in places like Kabul or Afghanistan.
On your left! More coming over the tube!
Anyway, it's a shame we didn't get to see Conrad's face in that opening. It would have been nice. I mean, for all I know, he could look like that guy on the truck on our right.
Empty that bus! On it! Got it! Moving to clear!
And this bog standard opening, it's pretty useful as a tutorial, and it can fake out people who come in unaware of this game's reputation, which at this point is probably
Keep moving. Out the back.
no one. It is a tough game to recommend because it's like, hey, go play this game because it makes you feel bad.
Grenade! Take cover!
Where's he hiding?
Billboard, cross the way.
And
Give me the word and I'll take...
Lugo, take him out.
the cover shooting isn't exactly top-notch. It does get a few things right, and it does do a few things very, very well. You're able to move around and peek out of cover very smoothly. You can even blind fire, and it's extremely effective. The only other game I can really recall using the blind fire system that this game implemented so well was Mass Effect Andromeda, of all things. Although that's not really a point in Spec Ops' favor.
Walker, the door!
Executions. These are always brutal.
Thought we were rescuing people. The hell was that?
I'm picking up a distress call.
Patch it through.
33rd Dispatch, this is Alpha Patrol. We're under attack. Repeat, the insurgents have us surrounded. Request immediate assistance. Shit! Markson's down! We need backup!
Lugo, distance.
About 100 yards away.
Let's move.
Contact!
One thing to keep in mind about combat sections is that while there are enemies alive, enemy chatter is very noticeably loud. Enemies tend to be very
Like that turn. Take it out.
chatty.
He's shielding.
And then
We
your
can't-
objectives are always going to be kill all the enemies in the area. So you'll know when you've completed that when everything is eerily quiet. Cover firing, and I actually hit somebody.
On the shack! 12 o'clock! Heads up!
This gameplay did get a little hectic in places, and I died a few times. I'm torn right now between whether or not I should cut it all out. I did film it in a way that'd be easy to do either.
Focus your fire! Target down!
Oh, right, and the only two things this game really actually got right is the harsh language soldiers tend to use, because, you know, they're in stressful situations. They're gonna cuss their mouths off, most likely. And psychological realism. This, being a soldier is a very tough profession. I do not envy anyone who's serving the military.
This is Alpha Patrol, requesting immediate assistance. Is anyone out there?
Alpha, if you can hear me, we're approaching your position.
Oh, fuck. Thank fucking Christ. I think Markson's dead.
Are you hurt? Is anyone else with you?
There's 4 of us. We're okay, but we're running out of ammo. Can't keep them back for much longer.
Okay, stay cool. We're almost there.
What do we got?
Our guys are pinned down in the fuselage.
We ain't been spotted yet. Might want to equip silencers.
Good call.
Take them out before they see us.
One weird thing about that opening section is that it actually begins and ends in a fade to black if you use the chapter menu to jump right into the chapter 1. But when you hit but when you decide to start the game from the beginning and get to those sections through natural gameplay, then it's a fade to white. That really makes me wonder what the hallucination was.
On the wing! We got bogeys! Pay attention! He's exposed! I told you!
Yeah, Adams and Lugo will start shouting the moment you get spotted. And I forgot to remove my silencer.
Lugo! Need a precision shot on my target!
The guys on the plane can be particularly deadly. I think sometimes a few of them will have RPGs. Not very good. Hey, I got him.
Shotgunner on the field! Got the target! Got one! Hostile moving!
But being able to point out targets like that is very handy since you can see over cover without having to peek over cover.
Target is down!
Although, at the same time, relying too much on commanding your squad mates will make it very tough in situations where you're limited. Sometimes you're separated from them.
Got one!
So if you're not used to getting shit done yourself,
Oscar mine!
it's going to be very tough. Alright, our second intel item should be in here.
And wheels are up. Thank God this is the last one. Whoa, the wind shear. No problem, though. I don't know. Nadar and Taps weren't great. Think we should have waited? No chance. These people are paying 4 times norm to get out quick. If they ask for a refund, it'd be our asses. I can feel my wind shear.
Holy shit, is that sand?
Fuck. Storm on our 6.
I've never seen one that big.
Expedite climb. Pull up, Eric. Pull up.
Shit, engines are choked. Gotta flame out. Engine 1's gone. Fuck, check engine 2. Check it.
Hey, over here!
Yeah, karma, because those people paid so much to get to evacuate sooner. But then again, he said it was the last one, so... Plot hole? It wouldn't be the only one. Anyway, one small thing that isn't realistic, although there's a very obvious reason for it, is that a Delta Force squad will usually have 4 members, not 3. But probably the reason they went with 3 is because Walker, Adams, and Lugo form Sigmund Freud's version of the your psychological makeup. Adams is the super ego, Lugo is the id, and Walker is the ego. And for the most part, they're going to be behaving within those roles. Adams will tend to be very logical, Lugo will be very emotional, and Walker will try to keep a balance between the two. Similar to like Spock, McCoy, and Kirk on Star Trek.
Got a hostage.
Don't worry about opening fire on these guys, there's no way that ends peacefully.
Down!
You're gonna have to talk fast, boss. He's fading.
We're here to help. Just stay with me, all right?
Forgive me. Took McPherson. You gotta find him.
We will, but I need you to tell me where they took him.
They took him to the nest.
Nest, all right, good. And what about Conrad? Is he still alive? God damn it. Lugo, mark the bodies on tack. Adams, check outside for tracks. I want to know what the hell is going on in this city.
Got multiple tracks headed north.
Then we follow him.
Not to argue, but this ain't exactly within our mission parameters.
Yeah, well, our mission went from recon to rescue the minute we found U.S. soldiers butchered.
Bucking orders. Like it.
Orders ain't worth following if it means leaving people to die, Lugo. Conrad's still alive. I think he is. I know he'd agree with me.
Tracks end here. Guess this is the nest.
Yeah, it's quaint. Very post-apocalyptic.
Just don't get cocky. Remember, these guys already took out 4 soldiers and kidnapped another.
Alright, and that'll have to do it for now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Spaced Oyster, signing out.